The lineage that I come from in tattooing is, I would say, historically more of a criminal sensibility. There's a kind of authenticity where it's something more of a need than a want. It's almost like it's come from within the skin. I like referencing culture and certain times, and I think through my own translation of things into tattoos, that's where I put my touch on things. I've always been attracted to dark imagery and more kind of ugly, imperfect things. It's got to think of the body and I guess also the finiteness of no tattoo will last forever. When I first started getting tattooed, I was very precious with what I was going to get. And the first few tattoos I got, I was very careful with what to get and I would deliberate on things. And then I had some health issues, surgeries every year for a couple of years. And then I realized that the way that you're prodded and poked and tubed up and injected and all kinds of things, that the body is just a vessel. You're just meat. And so you might as well do what you want. And, when you're dead, doesn't matter what you did. But to adorn yourself, it's just adorning. You can really do what you want. It's just a flesh vessel that it's going to be worm food at some point. The tattoos I make are all pretty much ones that I would want to get. I think that's the best way to go into it. And with anything, I think, even if you make clothes, it'd be clothes that you would want to wear or music you would want to listen to. I think that's a good way to stay true and authentic. But I also enjoy really shitty tattoos, and it's a very thin line between a bad tattoo and a good bad tattoo. Two things that I've always run throughout my artistic practices in tattooing and art is absurdity and brutality. That's my perspective on life, that it's kind of absurd and kind of brutal at the same time. And if we can somehow portray that with art, then we're doing a good job. Where you can just laugh at life and its savage nature. For me anyway, that's what my tattooing is trying to kind of express in the speed that I put them on and with the kind of roughness about them. I like the unrefined. If there's something imperfect and there's something kind of going a bit awry, I think in anything, in a person, someone with their flies undone or someone not wearing shoes in a big city. These little touches makes you look again. You always want something to bring the viewer in. I think definitely with the psychedelic experience, maybe there's more of a focus on that. The nuances of what's going on. Why is someone doing this? Why do they look like that? Deducing what's going on in the world through the details. Seeing these little things. I think it's the joy of life. I think tattooing can be like a diary. Criminal tattoos, they're fascinating because you just wonder what they've done and who they've done it to and what these meanings are. People get heavily tattooed when they're going through some kind of stress or trauma, It's like a physical manifestation of what's going on inside and a kind of release from a lot of people. I think for me, it isn't that important to be known. It's more to be able to do what I like and generally to just put ink in skin. I love that act of it. It's a meditation in some way for me. I guess if we bring the ego into it, then the ego has a kind of want for some legacy, and I would be lying if I didn't have aspirations to be remembered. There's an old G.G. Allen quote: "You don't get what you want, you get what you deserve." I quite like that. I'm fascinated with energies and energy in general. We're all frequencies, and material is all different energies vibrating at different frequencies. Thinking in terms of friends that I have or people that I warm to, I find that the energies is the main thing. Maybe it's quite obvious, but in the whole process of tattooing, it's just a massive energy exchange. It's an incredible blessing to be able to mark people for life. A painful process, then a release of happiness or, well, sadness, depending on how they like it or not. But I guess it can go one way or the other. It's just like happiness and sadness is just same cosmic energy going in different directions. It can be all encompassing. And I like that. You know, like Bukowski said, find the thing that you love and let it kill you or something. So I'm fine with that.